good afternoon, lads and lassies, or should I say good morning, really. It's about 2 in the morning here. Irish Demon back here with another video. I just wanted to just present something to you guys. This isn't going to be a whole lot of me talking at all. A good friend of mine, somebody I have a ton of respect for, and somebody who really blew me away with their performance the other day. So just the other day on Team Skeptics channel, my good friend and fellow beardsman JL Warren took on Rad Vlad, who we've all seen, Mr. Blobfish himself. I gotta say, he was a good old sport, Vlad. He turned up and he gave it his best shot, but he just wasn't up to the standard of JL. There's no question about it. I'm going to play for you JL's intro, which is what truly blew me away. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. He did an awesome job. And I gotta say, first of all, as soon as you're done here, if you get a chance, if you have the time, head over to Team Skeptics channel, check out the debate. It was awesome. JL was brilliant. Vlad was entertaining to some extent. And, he talks about he saw, I shit you not, he saw God's foot. Yeah, just getting, like, Holy Grail vibes. Anyway, check it out because JL did an awesome job. Team hosted. I came in for a little bit, just had a bit of fun. It was really, really enjoyable. If you're looking for a really deep intellectual debate, you probably won't find it here. JL was essentially like Mike Tyson taking on a 3-year-old girl, for example. They were in different ballparks altogether. But his opening is what really blew me away. Vlad wasn't able to present anything that JL wasn't able to answer for. So check out the opening. I'm going to play it here. It's a few minutes long. And then I came in and I was a little bit mean to Vlad, but it was all in good taste. We had a few chats and a bit of banter in the chat before. So it was purely just a bit of fun. He is a good sport. You can say whatever you want about his beliefs or his flat earth beliefs or whatever. He is a good sport. And I hope you guys don't think I was too harsh on him. It was just a joke. Anyway, let me play JL's little piece and then my little piece, and I'll be right back to you at the end.
All right. Well, thank you, Team Skeptic, for hosting this and for moderating. And thank you, Vlad, for the opportunity to debate tonight. I'm JL Warren, and I am an atheist. Now, because we have sidestepped defining a particular god, such as Allah, Vishnu, or the Hebrew thunder god Yahweh, and we are pulling back to the foundational concept of theism, that there is a God who made and governs all of creation, while avoiding the concept of the Trinity or divine revelations. My focus in this debate is to address the two fields from which we can argue theism and atheism and explore the intellectual honesty and assumptions needed to support each of those. Theism can be addressed by taking one of two argumentative positions, materialism or metaphysicalism. Now, with materialism, or the doctrine that nothing exists except matter and the modifications of such, has the distinct benefit of relying upon empiricism, that knowledge is derived from what we directly experience through our senses. This area was expanded upon in the 17th century with the advent of scientific experimentation and further expounded on by individuals such as David Hume, John Locke, and many, many others. Now, since that time period, we have vastly improved our technology, which has in turn expanded and improved our ability to observe the universe with our senses by allowing us to test and predict phenomena of the universe that we normally would not be able to with just our human bodies, broadening the fields of cosmology, of astronomy, microbiology, medicine, physics, spectroscopy. The list just goes on and on and on. Now, the standard for deriving facts from these observations is the scientific method. It's a methodological tool that allows us to limit personal bias, create novel testable predictions, and come to conclusions as close to objective truth as we can by eliminating what we know to be false. Now, from this point, when addressing the existence of a god, typically a definition of that god is required. But here, we're not defining a specific deity. We're simply looking at the claim that a god exists and created everything. So, with the theistic assertion that a god created and governs everything, this claim implies agency. Agency itself implies existence. However, we run into a roadblock, as one of the hallmarks of existence is detectability. This is problematic because detectability is a hallmark of what helps us to establish a foundational difference between what is real and what is imaginary. Empirically, we can detect no testable sense evidence of the existence of such a being, and we can detect no evidence or signature of such a being, and with the collected evidence at hand, there is nothing to imply any necessity of agential contingency when observing natural phenomena. Yes, there are questions we cannot answer, such as what came before the Planck time, but there exists no evidence for a God there either, and therefore God remains an unfalsifiable hypothesis for questions we currently can't answer, also referred to as the God of the gaps fallacy. Now, it remains more intellectually honest as it comports with demonstrable reality to accept the question mark and work towards answering it with the evidence as we uncover it. So we move to the metaphysical, which is truly a minefield of logical and terminological twists and turns one can easily get lost in. So I'm going to try and sum this up as easily as I can. When it comes to the demonstrable reality that all humans exist within, cause and effect reign supreme. Causal relationships define virtually everything we see. It would be reasonable to accept that because we experience so much causation in our reality, that there was a cause to the beginning of the universe. What that specific cause is up for debate, but the theist will call that cause a god. But just because it's reasonable to assume does not make it justified or even rational. Just as flipping a coin 1,000 times and getting heads 1,000 times says nothing to the truth of what the 1,001st flip will result in, we cannot rationally apply what we see as typical to a situation we were not present for and have scant little information about. Ultimately, God exists, therefore, is a presupposition about the beginning of our universe. Ultimately, it's what's called an axiom. And regardless of what logical lines you may work from, either a priori or not a, all of these boil down to a very simple fact. No one was there to observe the beginning of the universe, and there is no evidence we can detect or test from before the Planck time. Any conclusions assumed from this are purely presuppositions and, like all axioms, as such, are necessarily unjustified. I admit as well that my own axiom, I think therefore I am, is equally necessarily unjustified. This is one of the great limitations of being humans in our current state. There are axioms we must accept in order to build the foundations of our worldviews. But because we can never reach Cartesian certainty on anything, we truly never know anything for absolute certain, no matter the level of our personal confidence. In closing, because axiomatic reasoning cannot be proven nor disproven, the metaphysical debate comes to a stalemate, where we must depart in a live and let live or agree to disagree state. But when it comes to observing and detecting our universe, when it comes to the principles, laws, and theories that define our reality, nothing suggests or even implies that a God being was necessary for any of it. The suggestion or assertion that it did requires many more assumptions due to the lack of its detectability, and it is always better to make as few assumptions as possible when deriving objective truth. Yes, Vlad can hold his theistic position, but the position is intellectually dishonest because it ignores the fact that no God, as currently defined, has ever been detected. It is an irrational position because there is no rational conclusion that implies a God over begging more questions. It is a conclusion based upon personal truths and personal desires. And while that is okay for a personal position, it would be completely disingenuous to attempt to sway others by stating that position is objective truth when nothing supports that it is anything other than your personal feelings. Thank you.
I mean, how great was that? Like, that was just fantastic. JL has an incredible intellect, and he has a wealth of just such deep knowledge that always blows me away. But not only that, he's expert when it comes to conveying what he's got to say. He does it better than anybody I know. He's just fantastic. And I'm not just saying that, I really mean it. He is just wonderful. If you like what you see with JL, do check out his channel, JL Warren and The Week in Horror. There's two channels. I, for one, and I'm not trying to put pressure on JL here, I would love to see JL produce videos about, issues with, different religions and all of this stuff. Just because his knowledge is incredible. I've read a lot of Hitchens, Dawkins, Dennett, all that kind of stuff. And JL really is right up there with those guys. And that's why I'm so excited about this and really would just love to see it. I know you guys would too. And if that is something you would like and you like what you've just seen, definitely head over and check out his channels. I'll put links in the description down below for you to check those out. So next I came into the chat and I came in there swinging a little bit. I feel like it was a little bit mean from me, but it was all in good taste. And you know what? Vlad is a good sport. He, in fairness, always is up for a laugh. He gave me a little smile when I said it, and he gives it back just as good as he takes it. So I don't feel too bad about it. But yeah, it's just a little joke. Hope you enjoy it and don't beat me up too much.
As you all can see, we have a new person on here, another fuckface from Australia, who also has Irish in his name, Irish Demon. Irish Demon, I want to tell you, man. What did you think of tonight's debate, and what did you think of both performers, both debaters?
Sure.
Go ahead.
I gotta say, some people are going to be disappointed with what I've got to say here. So I've been an atheist for a long time, but I feel like, having listened to Vlad, that I have actually changed my mind now. Vlad, I've got to hand it to you. You have proven to me that there is a God, and I'll tell you why. Because only the existence of a God could explain how a human being can survive this long without a fucking brain. And that is exactly why you have proven to me that there must be a God. Can I just please, though, seriously, jokes aside, let me ask you a question. Do you know what omnipotence is?
Who are you asking?
I'm asking you. So omnipotence, do you know what that is? It's okay if you don't understand the word. I can simplify it. So can God... Okay, let me just put it this way. Can God do whatever he wants?
Look, you can't understand it.
Just answer the question. Hold on. Don't dance around it. Just answer the question. Can God do whatever he wants?
He's an all-knowing wizard like JL.
So yeah, that was my little joke. I thought it was pretty harmless, and he takes it in great faith. He really is. I gotta say, I know he can say some bad shit sometimes. He can be a bit nasty at times, but really, he is actually quite a nice guy. He takes everything on the chin and he gives it back. And you can have a bit of banter with him. If you can't have banter with people, I don't like to get involved with people that I can't have banter with. That's why I love these guys. I can have fun with these people, so it's really good. So what I was getting at there, he did actually preempt the question, and it's an old trope. If God can do anything, can he make a rock big enough that he can't lift up? So it's a paradox. If he can make anything, then he should be able to make a rock big enough that he can't pick up. But if he's omnipotent and he can do anything, then he can pick up everything. So therefore, he can't make something that he can't pick up. So either way, he loses. But he preempted that little paradox there. And I gotta hand it to him. He was pretty sharp there. But anyway, overall, I had a lot of fun. I watched the whole thing, and obviously I was on the stream. It was really, really interesting. Jail did an awesome job. While Vlad wasn't a very strong interlocutor, he didn't really have a lot to add in terms of intellectual debate. He was actually quite entertaining when he said that, he had seen God's foot. I'm not going to play that here. Definitely go check out the stream for that. You won't be disappointed. It got dumpster fiery at times. Vlad got hot. JL got hot. I got a little bit hot towards the end. So yeah, it was a great stream. Thank you, Team Skeptic, for providing such a great platform. It's really great. And yeah, I look forward to seeing the next one. Lads and lassies, thank you so much. Make sure and hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Later on, I'm going to have a video about an Israeli general who is the head of the space command over there, that has said that there is indeed extraterrestrials living here on Earth, and that the US have a secret moon base that is shared with aliens. So I'm going to be telling you all about that in a few hours. It is just gone 2 o'clock in the morning here. I'm absolutely exhausted, and I'm still waiting for the SN8 launch. Have a great one, lads and lassies. Gurmila Mahagut and Sláinte.